The actual point where you decide who lives, who dies, is actually the choice of the individual who's pulling the trigger. Regardless of what your politics are, we live in a democracy. We have a parliament that voted that diplomacy has failed and we need to pursue diplomacy by other means, which is warfare. So if you take Iraq for an example, very unpopular war, but the guys who were fighting on the ground didn't ask to go there. They were told they're going. So on a macro level, I would say it's the responsibility of politicians that send the guys there. Anything that happens is ultimately their responsibility, and the buck rests with them. Having joined the military, I always wanted to be a sniper, purely with no insight whatsoever to what the craft involved. You will go through setting up your firing position, and you'll have a mental checklist that you're taught. Left leg, left elbow, left hand, cheek piece, butt rest, and then trigger finger, shoulder placement, and then move down right elbow, right leg, breathing, relaxation. And you'll then be happy with your point of aim. And that's just the shooting aspect. Before we even think about pulling the trigger, we've got to think about the atmospheric conditions. So which direction the wind's coming, what speed it's going at, what direction the target's going. Is it stationary? Is it going with the wind? Is it going against the wind? And then when it comes to taking the shot, you will go through a thing called RIDAC. So it's range, indication, deflection, aiming point, confirmation, and time to fire. And then you take the shot. That is almost like taking the free kick in football. It has to be very controlled, very precise, and it has to be done right. You don't want to snatch the trigger, you don't want to buck into the shot, you don't want adrenaline to get the better of you. It has to be very methodical, controlled, smooth trigger control until the shot is released and followed through. The thing with taking a sniper shot is it's not adrenaline-fueled, close-up and personal CQB kind of shooting that you get when you're doing what they call close-quarter battle. It's actually very premeditated, controlled, and deliberate.
They shall grow not old, as we are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, no years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
The actual point where you decide who lives, who dies, is actually the choice of the individual who's pulling the trigger. As for watching a target, there's lots of different scenarios. If it's just something that happens fluid on the battleground, it's not pre-planned, and you take them out, that's different. You don't really have time to think about what they're doing. But if it's someone you've been watching for a couple of days and you've been observing and making reports on, and you also went into the field with background reports on them as well, at least a little bit of a picture about what they did or what they're doing, then you do start building up an image of them as well. I think it makes it psychologically harder because you've got that time to think. Not only that, you have anything from a times 12 up to a times 25 magnification image, because you're looking through a scope imprinted of the time when you take the shot. And that's almost like a snapshot of the incident actually happening there and then. I think if snipers thought about it too much, probably make taking that shot quite difficult, I would imagine. We landed on the L4 in southern Iraq, and we went forward as a sniper screen. Now, we'd observed a lot of enemy activity in the area, and we knew they were up to something. And hey presto, after going to ground for about 20 minutes, we watched them. Two guys come running from a building. One dropped a rifle, and one kept his rifle and started shooting back. We successfully engaged and killed him, but the other guy surrendered. Now, we were in Iraq a couple of K ahead of anyone else in the world who had ever seen what we could have done. We could have, and probably slept at night, killed that guy. But we didn't. We took him prisoner and he went off for interrogation. That's probably one of my most comfortable things I've done, actually, that the fact that we, even in an adrenaline-fueled situation, we stopped. I thought, no, this guy's surrendering, we'll take him prisoner, pass him back, and then we'll carry on.
We will remember them.